So I'm delighted to say with me here is the legend, Mr. Artistic Pool himself, world champion, world record holder. There's nothing that he hasn't won, and he's let me in his home today, which I'm really, really thankful for. Florian, I just wanted to first of all know what you think of the shirt.
Yeah, it's very bright. It's colorful, but hey, it works. I can see the glasses. Yeah, spotted right away.
This is a famous shirt. This gets on the Moscone carpet, gets at the World Pool Championships. Every camera, wherever I am, there's another one there. Look,
interesting.
Fixes on it. No, it's because.
All right, so we'll see. So we'll see it in December again.
You certainly will. Okay. Yes. Back in, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the Moscone actually with you a little bit later on. But can we just go back to the start really, where it all began? France, of course. Growing up.
Yeah, it didn't begin like this, I can tell you that. So, yeah, I just had this table, didn't know how to play, really. So looked at videos on the internet, and it's hard to believe, but it was the beginning of YouTube, actually. You know, think about it this way, it was crazy. That's been almost 15 years now. It's been 15 years, actually. Yeah, so I saw these cool videos on the internet, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna learn to play pool this way. And that's what happened, and I never quite really learned how to play normal pool, but I learned how to play trick shots, and then only later I played to normal pool, so this is a very interesting thing, yeah. So first thing was always trick shots, always been.
Is it true that you never actually started until you were 18? Is that true?
That's correct.
Your father bought you a table?
Yeah, I had it was weird actually, I don't know why exactly it happened. I always liked pool when I was a kid, every time there was a table somewhere, but nothing more than that. It's not like I was, you know, born and raised like a champion or whatever. No, nothing like that. And I just received my degree for like after 18 or whatever that's called in English, the main thing.
Yeah.
And for some reason we were coming back from somewhere in the car and we heard an ad on the radio. It was still a thing, and they had ads on the radio, and somebody's trying to sell a pool table for like $200. So it's like, oh well, why don't we just pick it up, right? And it's cheap, and just convince them we had the space. Yeah, so the cheapest pool table, €200 actually. It was €200. And moved this table up, and it was completely destroyed. Just an old thing. It was like 50 years old, but tell you what, it was fun, man. That's how I learned. So.
Wow, and look at you now in this beautiful area in Las Vegas. I mean, it really is a really, really beautiful place.
Well, I mean, for the story here too. So it came to a point when all the videos and stuff, I was like, okay, I either have to get an office to do it and a house, or I gotta do both of it, right? So. Came down to the fact that, you know, it's actually kind of stupid to dump money in an office that you're renting out. So we ended up buying a house that's, you know, more house than we could pretty much, you know, we should have done maybe, right? But we bought a house that's actually an office, right? So there's more of an office than anything else. Not only the trick shot business running out of it, the league business running out of it. So it actually makes sense, and to be fair, it was actually a great buy because now the houses are going up, so, you know, me happy.
You say it's a house and an office. I've seen smaller pool halls than you've got. You've got 4 tables, right?
Well, 3 inside, 1 outside, so yes, it actually is a mini pool room, yes.
And a swimming pool, if you count that as a pool as well. 5.
So 5, I suppose.
So tell us about, what is a normal day now for Florian?
There's nothing normal about anything, I think. Well, first off, I'm a night owl, right? So days won't start early for me. I'll try to wake up at like 10:30, and that's the best I can usually get out of it. You'll see why in a minute. So when I wake up, usually first thing I do is check my phone, and like right now it's on silent. All I gotta do is look at how much is going on. It's gonna be insane. Just because it's been 5 minutes here, I'm just gonna go down, right?
Well, I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not joking. It's just the way it is, right? So usually about, I don't know, man, like probably like 30 to 50 Facebook messages a day, usually like that. So if you miss a day, then it starts to add up, right? So that's the first thing I see, the comments. This is usually what happens. So take care of the million calls that I missed in the morning, usually 3 or 4 calls that I missed already before I even start. So that's the first thing I do, and that's either Venom trick shot or the league business. So once this is taken care of, then, you know, usually try to eat something and actually get the rest of the stuff ready. So which is actually going straight to the computer, and then it's looking at the million of emails that actually got received. And it feels an exaggeration too, but I don't know, it's probably in the hundreds every day as well. So you got to take care of it. It's the first thing you do, in between the media requests, in between the sponsor stuff, in between the YouTube, in between the posting. So this is what it is, right? After that, usually it's the league stuff. I got to focus on the league, see what what problem happened, if there was anything. If there was no problem, good, but we need to post other stuff out there, see where the tournament schedule is. Do I need to order trophies? Do I need to buy other stuff? Order some whatever pictures, anything. It's a million thing going, right? Website orders, same thing. Not every day we get them, but I'll say every week we got a few usually. So sort out the autograph cue ball, the t-shirt, the cues, whatever we sold, right? And that just goes quick, right? So that's already probably the end of the day almost for a normal person. So it comes like 6:30, usually try to get some food, something like that. And usually after that, if I don't have to go more out for the league, this is when I start practicing pretty much. So try to put 4 hours a day still, every day, if I can.
Practicing, sorry to interrupt, practicing to do trick shots.
It's either trick shots, either trick cushion, or it's normal pool. I try to vary a little bit because it gets boring to an extent. The problem is in between all the social media stuff now, it's you never really stop, right? I think I mentioned that earlier. It used to be a lot easier when we just come in, do one video on YouTube, post a link everywhere else, it was fine. Now you got to format everything, right? So it's complicated. So you got to do one video vertical for TikTok that just started now. Instagram, same thing now. And then you got to do the horizontal for YouTube and Facebook, and it's like you never really stop, right? But this is pretty much what it happens. So it's like usually I'll say till midnight most of the chance, maybe even more like 1. Depending if I hurt myself before. Usually I'm either bleeding from my finger, or something happened, or I broke something, tape is broken, cue is broken, I don't know, something happens. When that's over, then you gotta take the file, put it on the computer, transfer the whole thing. Usually after that it's like shower, and it's like maybe if I get lucky I gotta watch a little something on TV, and 3:30, maybe 4, I go to bed, and then same thing next day.
What are you watching? Anything good at the moment?
What am I watching? I don't remember. I think I was watching still The Walking Dead. I'm still catching up on that. That's how bad it is.
That's my brother's favourite thing.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's pretty much a normal week there, right? And that's all week. And then usually on the Thursday, if I have a show on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, which I do with quite a few still, I probably already scheduled 40 to 50 shows this year already. So usually I would leave on the Thursday, either the very last night.
All over the States?
Yeah, all over the world actually, mostly the US for the moment, but yeah. So usually I would do either the red-eye flight. I love my red-eye flights on Thursday night because I get the whole Thursday, or I leave on the Friday, early morning if I have to. The shows usually on the Fridays and Saturdays, and then come back on Monday if I can and do the same thing, so no days off. I think this coming weekend actually is my first weekend off since Christmas.
You'll be able to make some more videos, won't you?
And then I won't have a day off for probably another 6 months.
You mentioned hurting yourself. There was a question I wanted to ask you actually.
Yeah.
What's the worst injury you've ever done?
Well, I broke my wrist in 3 places by playing too many mass eights. I actually popped the whole thing out.
Really?
Like this, yeah. So I had to wear a brace for years. And this one's finally back. Now I'm starting to have something here. I'm guessing it's just the age starting to pull. I think I might have actually just a tear in the muscle. So I try to slow it down. It's kind of hard because once you jump, you really can't. So yeah, now it's starting to pull here. So I don't know. It's most of the time it's nothing like that. It's mainly just blisters on the fingers, bleeding everywhere, stuff like that. Not a big deal.
Talking of bleeding fingers and blisters, just recently Jason Shaw done the 714. How impressive is that? Have you played straight pool?
That's stupid. That's completely stupid.
It's insane, isn't it?
It's retarded. That's the best way I can put it. I don't understand how it's even possible. I actually like straight pool, but again, I'm a trick shot guy. I don't really play pool for a living, right? I play pool for fun. Mm-hmm. My high range straight pool is only 73 balls, which is decent by most standards, right? It's a decent thing, but it's no like Jason Shaw good anyway. But to be fair, we used to always say somebody can run 100 balls, they're pretty much pro player, right? But 700 is outrageous. It doesn't make any sense because the raw talent and knowledge and everything, the lucky that you need is just, I don't know how it goes all together like that.
And Europeans aren't really well known for their 14, their straight pool, are they? They're starting to play it now, but back in Europe, we don't really play it that much, do we?
Well, in France, I know we had the national. It was all the different games, right? 8 ball, 9 ball, straight pool, 10 ball. But yeah, we just played it usually during the tournaments, and that was kind of it. Sometimes you do a little practice. For me, I like to play. If I'm practicing by myself, I like to only play 9 ball or straight pool, pretty much. 8 ball is not much of an interest because it's not that bad. you can figure out a way out usually. But straight pool is gonna make you go into a different mode, longer run, whatever. And I use it for trick shots a little bit as well, because it's actually very interesting, because the trick shots messes completely your pool game. In my opinion, it's a completely different thing.
Stroke, is it?
Different stroke, different the way the eyesight is lined up and everything. So if I actually do a show for probably half an hour, I can't play pool, or very not good. You know what I mean? But if I switch to a different thing, and it gets better, right? And the same thing is kind of valid if I play normal pool. This kind of impacts me on the trick shots as well a little bit.
Really?
And the in between is actually three cushion. I can go back and forth much better. And I think it's because this is three cushion is more of a cue ball game, pool is more of an object ball game, and trick shot's more of a cue ball game.
What's your highest break on? Of course, there's I know you love to play three cushion. I just got into it. We were just talking about when I was quarantined in Mexico.
Difficult game, isn't it?
It's just so difficult just to learn. First of all, the right shots to play, or even learn the shots, not even necessarily the right shot. Then the stroke, I think, is completely different. What's your highest run? I mean, I've had a 4.
What's amazing in three cushion is it's not one stroke; it's many different strokes, and you got to use them for many different shots. The slow stroke, the short stroke, the medium one, right? The fast one. It's insane. But that gets useful for trick shots actually, and some pool too as well, but not as much, right? And pool, it's more just pure aiming, and you move your cue ball a little bit. You don't need that many different strokes. To answer your question, my high run I think is 11, which is not that great, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's over 10. I had a couple over 10, I believe. A bunch of 6s and 7 usually, right? But my average is what I'm focusing on. Three cushion, the average is what's more important. So right now, to be fair, it's very tough, because I think I'm kind of stuck at a point, and I kind of just probably need somebody much better to put me to the next level. But I'm plateauing. In good days I can reach the 1 average, which I think is right right there. It's pretty good, but most of the chances are I'll be more like 0.6, 0.7, right? And that's kind of crazy. Imagine you're playing pool, right, and one day you're playing twice as good as the next day. I mean, how crazy is that?
I think I read somewhere the average is something like 1.5 or something.
The pros right now? Yeah, the pros right now, it's actually insane. It's probably, I'd say 1.5 to be just considered, pro. It used to be 1, that was the cutoff. Like you reach 1 average, you were there, no more. And I mean, there's days now those guys can play 2, 3 average, so it's unreal.
Have you ever played bulk line?
Not quite. I tried a little bit of the free game and stuff like that. It is much tougher than I think, than I thought. It's one of those things like, how hard can it be? Just touch 2 balls, right? Whatever, right?
I know,
and
it's just crazy the way they chase them up and then chase them back. But
the knowledge is what it is, right?
Yeah,
in this game more than anything else, and it's actually insane. But it is, every game is always difficult regardless, but this is funny, yeah.
I know that you're influenced a lot by Mike Massey, of course, from the trick shots, and also the pro Karen player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, artistic billiard, like in Sammy Saginaw, for example.
Sammy Saginaw, yeah.
100%. Well, because right now the ball moves a lot more, and the shots, because the slate's bigger and it's thicker, it's hit it rolls faster, so you're able to do crazier stuff. So it was kind of a normal thing to go actually from the three cushion game into the pool game for trick shots, and that's where it is. So a lot of influence.
It's pretty warm in here. I know you've got a Karen table over there. This is the Rasson 9 foot here. This is the main table where you do all your or most of your trick shots on the crazy things where you took the cloth off the rails. What's next for this table? What are you going to do? Have you got any ideas?
Surviving.
The scrap thing by the looks of it. I've never seen the table. It's so much.
At some point it'll just be used for firewood, I'm going to say, but no, quite frankly, this thing's been solid. It's not the first table I have though. I think I've run to 3 of them already. This is number 3, but yeah, it's just it's there to take a beating. What's next on it? Well, I mean, I'm thinking probably taking literally the cloth off entirely. But I'm not sure, and what I'm worried about is if you do that, then you're gonna have, because this is 3-piece slate, right? So you're gonna have little.
It's a 3-piece, okay.
So it won't be. Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't get 1 piece up the stairs.
Right.
So we almost died putting the carom table up the stairs. So.
Oh yeah, how did you get that up?
Oh, funny story. So we had to rent what is it called? A stair climber dolly.
Oh, really?
And we were 5 of us holding that piece of granite. It's that thick. It's actually, I think it's heavier than snooker slates. And it's because it's only 3 of them too. So it's massive. And I think he almost broke the stairs himself, the wood, because almost so much weight, right? So we were trying to hold this thing. Yeah, it was risky. I think if we ever move out, I think this actually is going to be hammered in pieces and taken trash because there's no way.
You know what to do with this one? Cut it in segments and sell it off. People who love it sign it and sell it.
Well, actually, I do one thing similar. I do segments of the felt, actually. So whenever I take the felt out, I actually sign pieces and we have it for sale on the website because it's actually the real stuff and I go through quite a few felts. So
how many do you use a year?
Every 3 months, usually you got to change it. This one's going on 4 months. That's why it's looking very tired.
You need a sponsor, don't you? You couldn't afford to play this.
Yes, it's been a great deal. I'm very happy to have Simonis for the last 10 years because otherwise that would be usually I kept it, much longer till there was literally, almost no, just this bare slate. So, yeah.
So obviously I've been doing a lot of reading up and I know quite a bit about you. You came on the show, of course, on the Booth Brothers about a year ago now, I guess it is, yeah. I've been reading up a little bit. What did you do with Ben Stiller? You've done some TV show or something that Ben Stiller was. Was it something
stunt
Brothers?
Stunt double, yeah. Yeah, it was just a stunt double for like a stupid shot. It was easy. Yeah.
What, for Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
So did you actually meet the fucker?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I met a few like high caliber celebrities, I would say. Some of them were nice, some of them not as much.
All right, come on in. Let's hear about this. Who have you worked with?
Well, in the US, I've done a lot of shows, big TV shows, I would say. So I mean, in Germany, I've done their Germany Got Talent. It was what's the name of that famous model? What's her name? Then America's in Germany Got Talent. Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum.
Yes. Yeah. So that she was super nice and. Few people, I mean, most of the time they were really super nice. The funniest thing is actually in France when I did the France Got Talent, those guys were not nice. I actually took a beating on that TV show.
But you got to the quarterfinals, I reckon.
Yeah, I did, but they were just not nice.
But doing trick shots?
Yes.
Oh, you weren't singing or anything?
No, I did the finals though in Germany, so I went to the finals out there. Yeah, I did finals in Romania as well, I think. Yeah. Romania Got Talent were super nice people as well.
So look, Jasmine Ocean has just come off of Dance with the Stars in Austria. She came second. I had the privilege of commentating with her about a month ago, which was she's so great, such a nice person. If America Dance with the Stars
way.
Venom, come on, we want you on.
I'm handicapped for that.
What about Venomette?
Well, I don't know about that, but not me for sure.
So of course your wife is the lady that we see in a lot of the trick shots that we've seen over the time. I had this idea of doing a trick shot with you where I can sort of dress up like that and get.
I don't know if the viewers want to see that. I'm not sure. It's maybe too early in the day for that.
We can release it after midnight. So no, another idea I had was your swimming pool, and you've used your pool before, haven't you? For some shots?
Actually, we literally had a ball coming from that table straight to that window. If I were to lift the thing here, you can see a few impact on the.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, the ball.
So what? You were hitting balls from here?
Yeah, straight through the window.
Out there.
Yeah.
But there's a.
Oh, it's far.
There's another bit on the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's far. This is I mean, that was like what? It's probably 4 feet here, another 4. It's probably like 20, 25 feet jump actually. Yeah.
Because you also hold the record for the highest as well.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
I don't think I own this one currently. I think somebody decided to beat it, but I don't have the cue to beat it because I broke my cue in half. So we're working to get it.
When he beat it?
No, it just exploded. It just exploded.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the cue is no go now. So I can't do it until I have a new cue. So, but yeah, I had currently the longest record for the longest jump. So yeah.
You've got so many different cues over there. I mean,
cues, yeah.
Cues and jump cues and that automatic cue that you showed me. That is just insane. Can you grab that very quickly? Can I grab it very quickly?
Cue, you can go for it. Yeah.
Let me grab it. I mean, I won't. I've got to find the right one. That's it. There, isn't it?
That's it.
So, go on. Play a shot with that then.
Well, it's really easy. You just load it, and there's a little little thing on the side, and you shoot it, right? So actually, for the funny story, this is Ralph Eckert who gave it to me. This is some guy in Germany in the 90s or late 80s, late 80s, that decided to build something for disabled people, which actually is really smart, because if you're missing an arm or something, then you could actually do it. And but he never really quite took off. But he had a couple, and he does use one in the show actually, and I thought it was so cool, so he gave me one a while back, so that was cool.
I love it. And Paul isn't your only talent, right? And the trick shots, of course, and you run a league, but also I've heard you're a bit of a judo man.
Well, I haven't done judo in a while. I've taken fencing lately, so sword fighting, right? Yeah, so that's kind of fun too. Yeah, I just like to take stuff, you know.
You're a black belt judo, right?
Yeah, I am a black belt judo. Yeah.
Is there anything you can't do? You know, I hate people like you. You can just do everything.
No, I'm actually, I don't. If you ask me, I don't think I'm talented at all. I just think I work harder than most people. Especially at night, you know, when everybody's asleep, well, I'm the only idiot up and trying to do something about it. So that's the way I see it. You know.
I've got to admit, when I walked in here, I thought, oh, this guy, he just goes onto his table, records a few trick shots, puts them on YouTube, and makes $1 million, and
sure,
and just sits around thinking, oh, I'll go for a swim, go and drive in my Bentley, and
sure.
What do you drive actually?
Well, actually, I just have a Saturn out here, so it's like a little old car, and I have a Mustang, but currently in the shop, so yeah.
Right. I want to know where the name came from. Why Venom? Where did it come from?
So Venom came because I'm a poison for the pool table. My dad actually, when we first got that first table and I destroyed the crap out of it. This kind of came in like poison for the table in the French thing. And we translated to English. It sounded pretty nice, so that was it. Yeah, and as you can see, it never changed. I'm still pretty deadly.
So we got Venom, we got Venomette.
Yeah.
And your wife, of course, your lovely wife, Ayana. And also your daughter, Chrissy. Is she? What are you going to call her?
Well, she's not really taking a liking to pool as much as she was at the very beginning. She really liked it, and then somehow we started a junior league in Vegas actually, and started kind of because I think it's missing. I don't know how a city that big never had juniors, so somebody had to do it. So of course we did, you know, for the APA, and so she started playing, but you know, she doesn't like it as much, and I think the problem is, she thinks because I'm who I am, she's got too much expectation on her, and she doesn't like to lose. But the problem is, to play pool, you gotta learn how to lose. So I'm not like that. I'm not gonna push her. She does fencing as well. She likes much better. So I think it's one of those cases that she'll probably grow up and then start to like it again. She obviously will know all the basics and everything. But it's a weird thing, I guess, expectation, you know.
I did an interview. Funny what you just said there. Very interesting. I was interviewing Darren Appleton and asked him what advice he could give to youngsters and juniors coming up. And one of the first things he said was, learn how to lose, learn from losing. No one ever wins all the time.
I agree 100% with that, and actually that's the only way I learned pool. So to come back and circle back to the first story, so I learned how to play pool, trick shots, right? Then I'm starting to do shows. I'm winning trick shot tournament already, and I still don't know how to run 4 balls in a row. It's interesting, right? So keep in mind that's been 2 or 3 years now, right? And then I start to a point when I'm getting around, I'm doing shows, but I can't play pool for the life of me, right? And it makes no sense to people, which, I mean, it makes sense to me because I've never learned the game, so how could I know, right? But it didn't make sense to them, so like, you know what, screw this, I gotta learn how to play normal pool. So I went and I put myself in a club in France, a nice club, when the level is, you know, average, right? And but there was a few good players in there coming in and out, and then we started to do tournaments in Germany because where I lived, it was really close to it. And then we met this guy. He had a pool room. It was called the Flying Nine, and he used to be a German champion. And his name is Martin Schwab. If he ever watches that, so we played there every weekend because the room was beautiful, and this guy was there, and he kind of took a liking, and he decided, you know, he's gonna. The funny thing is, nobody wants to play with this guy anymore because he's still good. And then I went there every Saturday and Sunday usually and play until I couldn't take it no more. Rocking. And he liked it, and he's like, he's called me still Rock Master to this day because that's all I did, right? But 6 months later, after racking, I knew how to run out simply because I was watching him, and that was it. And I learned my game in 6 months probably from there. And abilities, sure, I was definitely advantage, right? I knew how to put draw, follow, and all this stuff, but you cannot invent the patterns. And that's
you have to learn them, yeah.
And all we did is play straight pull and 9-ball every Saturday for like 10 hours in a row. And he was happy, he got his practice out of it, and I got it too, and I learned how to play pool, so still very happy about it.
So, what's your favourite game out of all you play? Is it trick shots? Is it 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, Karen? What is it?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm not racist when it comes to cue sports. I love everything. It's a hard thing. It kind of depends the days. Now, obviously, trick shot, I can't beat it. I love it. The thing is, the more it sounds like work, the less I kind of enjoy it. But it always comes back to enjoying it anyway. It still comes back to when I invent new shot, I'm happy. That's my favorite thing in the world, is to be left alone on this table and just create new shots. That's all I can do. I don't care about the rest.
So what's the process? Right, so a painter, for example, he's got a canvas, and he just starts to paint, she starts to paint, whatever. This is your canvas. What's the process of learning? Like a songwriter has a process, maybe.
Well, the process is, first you got to look for inspiration usually, and it used to come from Trickcushion and all those games and other trick shot guys. The problem is, I know it's going to sound conceited at this point, but now everybody's copying me. There's nobody's coming new stuff. Mm-hmm. It's very rare I see a new shot. Mm-hmm. If I do see it, I'm definitely going to look at it and try to come up with something. I've always had a thing, I don't like to take people's shots, and if I do, I'm going to move something out of it, right? It's not going to be the same thing. I hate it recreating shot. That's the way I learned it, and after a while I was like, no, I got to do my own thing, right? So if I see something cool, then I'm going to get it. I'm going to try it, get an idea out of it. Sometimes it works, great. Sometimes it doesn't work. Option B, then if it doesn't work, what can work with this, right? If nothing works out of it, whatever, right? So be it. Sometimes after one thing, you learn there's 10 different ones, right? So now you expand it to 10 different shots. Out of those 10, you can get another one here, another there, right? And then, so sometimes you just cannot, or stability is too big, or it's just too complicated, or too low percentage. So it goes in a book, and I'm gonna bring that book actually to you, show you the process. It's I have a bunch of them actually.
I've always thought, never be afraid to fail. Just keep trying. Just keep trying different things, and something's going to come out of it.
This is kind of an interesting, right? So I'm going to take this first page, right? So this was from the desk out there from my other office. I had a conversation with QTech. They want a few things. We got a new product that we may need to advertise. One of the focus is going to be extreme position play or precision trick shot, right? So that is a theme that I'm going to work on a theme, right? Then the next thing I saw is, I think I saw this things here from a Karen video, like a follow shot one rail back here, right? Maybe it works on a pool table, maybe it doesn't. Chances are it doesn't, but I'm going to give it a try, right? So now this one I just attempted last night or a couple days ago. I got something cool out of it. It's very cool. It's like a rail first, hit the rail again, then he draws back. It makes no sense.
Wow.
It's like a very unusual shot, right? So this is a thing there, right? So
can you just quickly flash that so we can see?
I don't think you can see much, but yeah. So
just to show that, it's almost like a storyboard.
So this is one of the paper, right?
Yeah.
So far this is still project side.
Okay.
This comes from a show. You can see it still has the hotel name, right? So that was during, I was probably right at the hotel after a show. Either I saw something or remember something.
Silver Cloud. You sure that's not the name of your car? That's a Rolls Royce.
That was in Seattle. I had a show actually last week. And so this like a mass 8-time shot, and this is for some reason. So I invented that shot last time. It's like I threw the cue into the ball and it jumped indirectly, right? So I just decided that why didn't I think about it? I'm gonna shoot it first with the cue while the cue was moving, then I'm gonna throw the cue. So I already did that one. That one is good, but I haven't did the other ones. I haven't done this one, so this one stays on the side. So this is still there until the paper is broken, and then here comes the main stuff. Now there's basically hundreds of them in there. So either they're already done, they're not done. Sometimes I have to go back at it.
Yeah. I hope you understand them, because I don't.
That's the beauty of it.
No one else can understand it.
Sometimes they make no sense to me either, but sometimes they do, and sometimes actually I've had the case when I didn't understand what I did, put the ball back and come up with something totally different, then I remembered. But so this is it, right? So this is the gold mine pretty much.
Is there anything you've ever done or attempted rather, that you couldn't finally do it? It just took you so long and you just thought, oh, I'll have to change it, I'll have to do something else?
Very rarely. But if I know it's very, very low percentage, I usually switch to something else right away. The beauty with trick shots is if usually you can change the outcome a little bit by making the target bigger, right? So first thing, you use one ball, right? You put it in front of the pocket. That doesn't work, then you put a second ball. You know, instead of having this little zone, then you're gonna have a bigger zone, right? If that doesn't work, then you go with a triangle or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. That's usually the last resort,
right?
Or maybe a butt on the rail, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time for my shows, for example, the shutters, skill-wise, just difficult, but the outcome is manageable because we put something, a target that enlarge the target, right? Which is like a butt, usually a butt or triangle or anything like that, right? So that's the way. And then lately, the only thing I can't do is I don't know if you've seen that new series I've been doing, virtual versus real.
Yeah.
So I take a shot from a video game.
From the video game that somebody makes.
By Miniclip.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
And then I have to do it in real life. Now the funny thing is, most of the time those guys make flukes. So I'm here trying to recreate a fluke, and it was just last week I had the whole video team and everything because this is kind of a big shooting every time. And I think we stayed 2 hours. The guy was pretty much sleeping out there, 2 hours, and I still couldn't make it, and I just gave up. My hand was like black, I was blistered, it was all popped already, and I just gave up. But you know what's the funny thing? Next week we came back and was like, you know what guys, let me do half an hour of it, see if I can do it, nailed in 20 minutes.
Wow.
So you'll be there.
Reminds me of Jason Shaw's 714, he got to 280, 320.
Then he came back. Yeah.
Went and had a cup of tea, washed himself.
Sometimes
come back.
You feel it, right? So those shots, what I call those stupid shots, they're just stupid because they're physically possible, they're there, and you find the lines, it's there, but how do you gonna make it? It takes a percentage of luck, right? And it's gonna be the same. I know people are gonna be mad at me, but to run 714, you still need luck as well. You can't just be talented or have the perfect thing, right? You need a little luck.
One little bit.
You need a little luck always, and it's just sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. And some days actually you have no luck at all. You have the worst luck in the world, and you'll do something nice and perfect, and it doesn't go in. It's gonna rattle. It's gonna do some crazy stuff, right? So when it does happen, you just gotta deal with it and learn how to be unlucky, and it sucks, but it's a big lesson in life.
It's kind of interesting, I've just thought of a scenario here. John Smith held the record, 6:26. Nobody was really trying to beat it, but then
nobody
Bobby Chamberlain, they thought it was possible,
yeah.
Exactly. And then Bobby Chamberlain put this challenge up, and they offered some money for somebody to try and do it. I think it was Mark Griffin, I'm not sure. So a few people started to try it.
Yep.
If you were John Smith now, because you're in a situation now where there's people trying to beat your records all the time.
That was a tough blow for John, to be honest, because I think in his mind, when he was trying to beat the record, you have the upper hand, right? Because he knows it's the best, it's gonna get it, or it's just a matter of time till you get it, and he got it, right? The pressure all goes down. It's like no way anybody's gonna be that crazy enough to try that, right? And then what happened? Man, you just take it out. So you're not just taking you're just not losing the record, taking a big mental blow. Can he beat it? Of course he can, probably. It's just about how long is he gonna take, and does he have the motivation to go back at it, because he knows how hard it was to already beat it, right? It's not easy. It's probably gonna take a little time for him to kind of just let it sit, right? And then I'm assuming he's gonna go back at it. If I'm him, that's what I would do. Maybe quietly at the beginning, and then when you feel like it's closed, then maybe you start making noise.
1,000 balls possible?
I think at this point, this is probably the next big thing, yeah. I think 1,000 is going to be there, but past 1,000, I just don't see, the amount of lucky break you're going to take is just ridiculous, because everybody that plays straight pool knows that sometimes you did perfect break, get kicked, boom, in the corner or whatever.
Well, that's what happened to Jason. He scratched on the
actually, he didn't even miss
rack.
a ball. He just got kicked straight in the top right corner, right?
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. Unlucky. But maybe he had a few lucky ones before that allowed him to get the run, right? But in order to be that good on that day, that perfect, you have to do the perfect layouts and a little bit of luck every time. I mean, that's hard.
51 racks. Unbelievable,
It's sick.
isn't it?
It's sick. Yeah.
Right. Now then, I really enjoyed talking to you, but the only reason I came here really Because I want to be in one of your trick shots. I want to star in one of your trick shots.
Well, I mean, you won't hurt the table, so.
Shall I run a few little things past you that I thought about?
Yeah.
Well, the one about, obviously, I wanted to do one of them things where you do it through my legs and all that kind of thing.
Wow, so it's going there already? That took no time and no drinking.
I've looked in your fridge, there's no alcohol in there.
There's nothing, no.
There's nothing.
Hey, I'm an athlete, I do a sport. Like, I'm not, I mean, it's a between a sport and an art, but I take it pretty seriously.
No, it is. I'm glad you said that.
Actually, I feel like all the new generation of pros, they're actually taking it very seriously as well, and I think this is the way to go because it's becoming so hard, so, yeah.
And I can't believe it, you're still only 33. It's like you've been around for ages.
Yeah, I feel old though. I feel like it's passing to the next generation. That's kind of an interesting spot actually for me because I've always been the young kid, right? And now it's passing to a moment. I'm like, what is next, right? It's the next thing, right? And to be fair, I always thought that at this point in my career, somebody is gonna be some young kid is just gonna beat me up, out of new shots, and there's nothing. So what am I supposed to do? Just quit and let them, lower their level, or do I keep going and put it higher, right, until somebody catches up?
Have you considered, or probably maybe you're even doing it? I don't know. I know you're big into the junior scene and helping the juniors create that next generation of players. Have you thought of doing like an academy, or do you have an academy for trick shots or teaching trick shots?
No, I think the trick shots is kind of a different aspect than normal. Pool is a very teachable game, right? You have a way. Trick shots you can teach so much, but the essence is to create. So you either have it or you don't. If you're not creative, it's kind of tough. Like you can teach some stuff and whatever, but at the end of the day, you got to present it in a certain way, and you got to. I think the key to me has always been you've got to create new stuff, because if you don't, you're just circling around what somebody else has already done, and you're just a number. You're not special.
Yeah, but maybe that person's out there that
it probably is, and I think now with all the tutorials that I have online and everything, I think there's a way that somebody's gonna come up with it, and I truly believe it. And when it comes out, I'll be really happy because I want to see it being blown away. I want to see what actually is possible in the far extreme that further than I've been to. Am I gonna go for maybe another run at another crazy video? Probably yes. Yeah, I would say so.
You're going to try for the high jump again?
I'm not sure.
I mean, really,
the records, the world records are cool. The first one was amazing. It was like an achievement that's really cool. The second, third, whatever, right? Now past 10, it's like whatever. It's just one more. Sometimes I'll beat it. Sometimes somebody will beat it. It's fine. It won't break or make me. It is kind of cool to push the envelope, though. I'll tell you that. I actually like it when it's being beat, and then I got to actually put out of my comfort zone and try something again. Like the long jump record, I've tried it here, out there, but it's just myself. So comes to the day of, like, there is conditions to a record, right? So you have to do it pretty quick. Mm-hmm. You can't just do it for like 3 hours straight and miss it. And I'm not gonna be one of those guys to do it on the live. And I do live shows, so I know you have a certain amount of tries to do it, and that's it, right? So whenever I go there, I gotta be comfortable with the mark, because if it is there, then it's gotta be repeatable on TV. And all the records so far for me are. But if somebody gonna go and just do 600 tries on one shot to beat it, yeah, they can probably do it.
Right. Going back to your shows, what percentage would you say? How long's the show, for example, for starters?
So, I can kind of make it the way I want it, from probably like 15 minutes to 2 hours, but I think the sweet spot is an hour. It's about how much attention you get from somebody. So usually go for an hour, about 40 shots in an hour, which goes pretty quick. And you're asking about the percentage of success on the shots? 90%, maybe 95%. The funny thing too is actually I can make a show 100% as long as I take away a couple shots. They're hard, but I think they're part of my identity, and people kind of enjoy seeing me sometimes trying 15 times the same shot. And it happened again a couple weeks ago when I was in Seattle. The show was going well, I was missing nothing. So then I started putting some stupid shots. Now I'm starting missing, right? And people are like, that's weird, right? But then they kind of get into it. It's like, oh no, one more, And I always joke like 100 tries, give me 100 tries and it'll work. And that guy, the owner, had a heart attack when he started to see the burn mark on the felt. He was literally start to smell the burn too. So
wow, yeah, that's another thing. Of course, you really do beat up. I've seen this
one.
Well,
for shows, no, because I can control it, right? and the shots that if I don't go into one of those stupid shots, there's nothing is gonna happen massively. As long as you know what you're doing, you're never gonna break the table or the felt or whatever. Now practicing on a new shot when you're gonna hit the ball 50 times the same spot, it's gonna actually burn and burn all the way through the felt. It's actually insane. Yeah.
Wow.
Like you might have a couple out there. It's actually
I know.
through.
I saw there's one.
So
there,
there's cuts and then there's burns.
That's,
like the
that's
full
a burn.
burns.
This one, right?
Yes,
That's
that
a
one's
burn.
went through. Yeah, those are the one that goes through. So it's like here too. Like it just burns entirely through, and then it goes to a point that there's no more thing. It's just late.
Now, the last time I had a trick shot played with me, you actually put a video similar to it on YouTube, or on Facebook the other day that you shared, of the guy getting hit in the side of the face.
Yeah, that was Nigel Reese too. I heard. Right?
Yes,
yeah,
it was, and I actually had that done to me by Jimmy White back in 1984.
Those guys are made to put 147s. They're not made to do trick shots.
No, exactly.
Everybody's job. That's what I always joke about it.
He's right into the cube. It
hurts too, doesn't it?
But the first thing, it really hurt. But the thing was, I had a big red mark on my face, but I'm looking, it was on a snooker table, and I didn't realise it at the time. The first thing I said was, did he make it? Did he make it?
Yeah, I got hit in the face a few times. That does not feel good.
No.
I actually hit my wife in the head a few times, did not feel good at all. She had a black eye actually one day, so promise it was just a pool ball.
Yeah, that can take some explaining. How did that happen? Oh, I got hit by a pool
Well, actually,
ball.
I was doing a jump shot. It was supposed to go into something. It hit the very edge of the rail. Instead of shooting this way, it went straight up. Boom. Yeah, full force too.
Wow.
But yeah.
So look, hopefully we can reposition the camera and just do a quick
Sounds good.
trick
Let's do
shot.
it.
So we'll be back very, very soon with a trick shot with Mr. Florian Kohler. Thanks so much, Florian. Been a pleasure, mate. Thank you, mate. How insane is Federal Ghost?
No, I feel bad for him right now. It's sad, actually.
I know, it's very sad.
It's very,
I'm
very sad.
going to wait until you're ready. I'm going to wait until... He had a shot. I don't know whether you saw it. I was actually commentating.
The jump shot he did?
Did you see it?
Yeah, it was nuts.
The one when he was there.
I had him at the house actually not long ago. Yeah, he's a monster.
There. And then the 9 there and the 2 ball there.
Yeah,
And
I jumped in
and I called it. I said, right, how about that was with Tony Robles?
He used the brake cue too, I think.
Yeah, the brake cue.
Yeah.
I said, right, how's this for a shot then, Tony? Jump the 5, make the 1 ball, and draw the cue ball all the way back for the 2 in the side. He went, no way.
Yeah, yes way. Yeah, no, he's insane. That kid's insane, actually. That's the first guy I've seen in a while that was like, you played on this table, it took him, 2 seconds to get used to it, and then it was just a machine. Anything that's there, he can make it. It's
He's a great kid, isn't he?
It's sickening, and he's a nice guy too, and he's got the right spirit too, which usually what's missing. Usually something is missing, right? They have the talent, they have this, but he's got all of it.
I always say
he's gonna be there forever.
Complete
He's
package.
gonna be there forever. Like, it reminds me of Darren when he was in his prime. Darren was a beast in his prime.
Yeah.
It's like just his presence was that good that he was scaring people off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen a few now. I mean, I've seen Mika in the 2000 early when he was a beast.
Player of the decade.
Yeah, Darren, same
Darren,
thing. And then Fedor, it just pops out. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are just.
I mean, how unbelievable is it to go and win the 1 pocket and the banks at the Derby City?
It's dumb. It means it's how good you are making balls. Yeah. It's that stupid.
Absolutely crazy.
All right, you ready?
No. Are we recording?
Yeah, it's running. You know what? How good do you want it? Because I can make it so I'll go a little closer to me. Oh, you're squeezing that shoe, man. That's in my pocket. I can do it without looking, even. It's a cue ball inside the shoe. Do you want me to look or not look?
I don't care. I'm not looking.
Ready? Oh, hold on. I gotta look, I think.
No, it's my fault.
Did you move?
I flinched.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna do one with looking and then I'll do the other one. Alright, ready?
I promise not to flinch this time.
They don't flinch.
I won't.
That's in there.
Jeez.
Gotta show you the camera. It's well in there.
Wow. Just do it. He just did it.
That's my shoe, so it's
Oh, is it your shoe? How many balls have been in your shoe?
I don't know.
See, this is why you get women to do this, because they look more elegant doing it than I do.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. Bigger leg.
Do you want me to take my trousers off?
No, sir.
My pantaloons. Yo! Right, look, I know you're a really busy guy. We're going to call it a day. Florian Kohler, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Venom.
You got it.
Cheers.
All right.